Continuing Mark chapter 10, from verse 19. You are quite aware of the commandments. You shall not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not slander, you shall not swindle, honor your parents, father and mother. And the man answered, Teacher, I have acted quite well in accordance with these commandments from my youth. Jesus looked at him with love and told him, You are still missing one good thing. Sell all your wealth and resources and give the proceeds as charity to the poor, and you will possess great affluence in paradise. Then you may come, shoulder your cross, and follow me. But when he heard and considered these words, he left, filled with sadness, for he was quite wealthy. At this point, Jesus looked around and told his followers how difficult it is for people who are affluent to enter the monarchy of the Lord God. His followers were quite amazed when he said this, but Jesus proceeded and told them again, My children, how difficult it is for people who rely on affluence to enter the monarchy of the Lord God. It is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for an affluent person to go into the monarchy of the Lord God. And the followers of Jesus marveled exceedingly, asking one another, Who then is able to be saved? But Jesus looked directly at them and replied, With humanity this is outright impossible, but not so with God. With God everything is possible. Then Peter began to tell Jesus, Look, we have abandoned everything and followed you. And Jesus replied them, Indeed, I tell you now, there is no man who has gone away from home or siblings, brothers or sisters, or parents, father or mother, or spouse, or offspring, or properties for my sake and for the gospel's sake, who will not obtain 100-fold at present, buildings and brethren, and sisters, and mothers, and offspring, and properties. And there are persecutions, but in the future he will surely attain everlasting life. But many people who are first now will be last in the end, and many people who are last now will be first in the end. Jesus and his followers were on the way, journeying towards Jerusalem. Jesus was proceeding in front of them. All the disciples were astonished, and they were coming from the rear. They were somewhat afraid, and again Jesus took the 12 apostles aside and informed them of the events that were going to occur concerning him. Behold, we are proceeding to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the leading priests and the authorities of the law. They will condemn him and award him the capital punishment and hand him over to the infidels, the Gentiles. And they will tease him, spit on him, and offend him. And they will whip him, cause him tremendous distress, and kill him. But then, after 3 days, he will rise again. Next, Jesus and John, James and John, the offspring of Zebedee, approached Jesus and said, Teacher, there is one thing we need you to help us achieve. James and John, the offspring of Zebedee, approached Jesus and said, Teacher, there is one thing we need you to help us achieve. And Jesus asked them, What is that?